Guys, welcome back to another video. So on this video we are going to be analyzing GJ and seeing where GJ is at and possible price action that we could look forward to on GJ. So going on the monthly time frame now. On the monthly time frame we can see that price just came to this high. So we retraced, we had this retracement, then we pushed up, then had a little bit of retracement. Now this we pushed up to this high, so this was the last high price had on GJ on the monthly time frame. So now price has come back to this high, not matching the high, like reaching up to the, because last high was around 208, not matching it. But if we had to use like resistance and support zone, you can see that this is a resistance zone, but it is coming back to match this high. And now this zone is also a strong resistance zone in the monthly time frame. So now as soon as I saw that, I had this feeling that okay, price might want to retrace on GJ. So last week, after we had this whole bullish move on GJ, this bullish move, I think it was a gap. We had a gap, and price just continued bullish, then came back to retrace. Now going back to the monthly time frame, if we are to put this resistance zone on the weekly time frame, we can get a more clearer view. So you can see, so this was the resistance zone that we had on the monthly time frame, which was the high on the monthly time frame. So price came to match that high. So one thing about GJ is, if you study GJ very closely, you can see that price, anytime price match, not anytime but most times, if price comes to a high, it always has a little bit of retracement. Like for example, now either a high or a low, it will always have some type of retracement or around that high or that low, like a higher high or lower low. Like for example, let's use this example here. So this, on this example here, you can see this was a higher high. Now when price came to that higher high zone, what it did, it retraced a little bit. Like you can see this was retracement, it retraced a little bit. Now let's use this higher high zone here. Okay, let's use this first. Price, this was a higher high, right? Price made a higher low. When price came to that higher high zone, what did it do? It retraced a little bit. Now this was a higher high. Around this same higher high, as soon as price came to that higher high zone, what do? It retraced a little bit. That's why if you're having any position on GJ, most times it's always good to target the last high or the last low. Just target the last high or last low as take profit zones, because the most times they go to that zone and retrace off those zones. So like you see here, this was a high, came to that high. What did he do? He retraced. Now look at this here, he retraced, then came back again to this high, because this is a high too. He retraced a little bit, push. So now using this knowledge that we have on the monthly time frame, you look at the monthly time frame here, I see that price came to a high, come to this high here. So it came to this high here. So most times you have a retracement of the zone. So if I'm to have a long position around here, my take profit zone is not going to pass this zone. Normally that's where my take profit zone will be, around this high here. So now we came back to this high, boom. So what are we most time we are expecting price to retrace. Now going to the weekly time frame, consider what price did is as soon as it made this whole bullish movement and came to that high, that monthly high started retracing. Now since we know, okay, seeing this, okay, price retracing, fine and good. We understand why price is retracing is because it's at a monthly high. Not only a monthly high, that zone is a strong resistance zone. If you look back, you can see that around that zone, price has stopped so many times and retrace off that zone. Now looking at it on weekly time frame also, you can see that this is a high. So like this is a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Boom. So price, anytime price makes a higher high, it's want to retrace to give discount prices to buyers, to the next set of buyers, so that they can have discount price, which is basically how the market moves. Price moves in a bullish market, price moves in a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low format. So now since we know that, now we've had a higher high, so price is going to come back to try to make a higher low zone. Now since we know that, we look for a strong zone which could be a support zone, which price might go to that zone and make a higher low from there. So now on this zone, on this weekly zone, you can see that okay, price has rejected this. When price came to this area, rejected a 1, 2, and 3. So this is a strong resistance zone, which now since price is above it will be a support zone if it comes back to it. So if it comes back to it, this zone, and respect this zone, it will be a support zone. So since we know that, okay, that's why we have this support zone now. So now I'm going to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, you can see the whole shenanigans. Now price made a high, like we've explained on the weekly time frame, a high. So after a high, what's the next move? Price is going to retrace to give discount price. Now looking at all that, you say okay, that's why price is retracing down here. Now we have to wait for price to retrace, then give us a signal that okay, price is done retracing and is ready to make new highs. But for now, since price is retracing, we are just looking for short position. And now let me also show you something. On GJ, we use quarterly zones and psychological zones too on GJ, which could be quarterly zones, which could be like 202.500, like we see here, this zone I have here. Now price most times respect all the zones, both the quarterly zones, both like these psychological zones. Now on here we have the 200, we have 0.202.500, then one where price also had a retracement from was around here, boom, 205.001. you see, so you can see a pattern around this place. So one reason why price retraced from here also was okay because it was a psychological zone 205. So now this 205, going to lower time frame, you will see that price made a double top around that zone. So as soon as you see that, okay, it was is a monthly resistance, or price has come to a monthly high, is also at a psychological zone. It's made on the lower time frame, it made a rejection pattern. All those signify to you, okay, price is wants to retrace to get to make lower prices where buyers could have discounted price to enter back on buyers, on longs or buyers. So you can see one reason why price rejected of the zone or started rejecting because of psychological zones. Yeah, so there are many reasons though, but this is one of the reasons. So yeah, on if you look at the file closely, you can see that what price did was it made it double top, as you can see. Boom, came back, boom, rejected of the zone here. So this is the double top and price melted from there. So now what are we looking on GJ right now? What are we looking for on GJ right now? GJ is at a low. So what price basically is doing now is making price making lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. So we are only going to look for sells, mostly sells now, because price is retracing until price gives us a confirmation that okay, we are ready to buy or we are ready to continue bullish. But for now, price is bearish, so you just look for bearish opportunities. Now since we are under the psychological zone, this quarterly level 202.500, since we are under it, boom, what I did was I looked for a resistance zone, which as you can see, this is the resistance zone. This was a resistance zone, then this was going to make it acted as a support here, acted as a support here. Now price broke below it, came back to that zone and rejected off that zone. So as soon as it rejected off the zone, and this was to my position. Now on this position, I have I had break even on this position right now because price has moved a significant amount for me to have break even. So now as soon as price rejected this which if you look at the structure, you can also see that this was the last higher low, sorry. So this was the last higher low on the 4-hour time frame. So last higher low, price break below it, came back to retest the last higher low zone, as you can see, and rejected off that last higher low zone. So yes, anticipating price to come back lower to here, and also we are under this psychological zone, this quarterly level 202.500. So if price, we know that price moves in quarterly levels and on moves from one psychological zone to another psychological zone. So since we are under this zone, probably price is going to move from this 202.500 to down here to the 200 zone flat, the 200 zone flat probably. So since we are under it, we are looking for short position, but we'll see how this position, how it plays out. But yeah, basically that's what's happening with GJ. So I just price retracing, continue having those, looking for short position until price gives us or tells us that it's done retracing. And one zone where I feel like price is going to be done retracing will be around this daily zone here, because if you look at this daily zone, the structure, this is a counter trend, so price might come back to this zone to reject off this zone here, then we can continue bullish. So that's it on GJ basically. Nothing much. Yeah, just look and see how this position plays out. I've already set SL to break even, so if I get stopped out at break even, cool, fine. Because this is also a support zone, as you can see, it's a support zone. If we look back on the 4 hour, look back, this is a strong support, this is a strong zone which acted as the resistance and the support. So when it came to this zone, rejected all of it. You can also count these two because it's a zone. Came to this zone, rejected all of it, came back, and then it's acted as support too. So you can see different equations where price has rejected of the zone. So that's why I had this zone on here, and you can see that price came to that zone too here, and it's rejected of it, rejected of it here, rejected of it here too. So but we'll just be patient with it and see how price plays out on GJ. Price might also still come back here to make a double top before dropping down. We don't know, but we'll just hold on. But this, I've said this on at break even. So that's it on GJ. Nothing much on GJ. Nothing much on GJ. So that's it on GJ. Thank you for watching the video, and please like and subscribe.